Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Book Beat. I'm Jean Noel Bassior, your host, and we have a great show planned for you today. We have our guest expert is going to be Sylvia, Cary. So if you are a therapist or a mental health professional who wants to write a book, she's got some great tips and how-tos for you. So, of course, my first question would be, is because I do a similar thing to you. You know, I coach people too, and I've had therapists as clients. And so it's amazing that you've written a book just for them. Do you want to hold it up? Do you have
Sure.
it? It's called The Therapist Writer.
It's called The Therapist Writer, and helping mental health professionals get published. And I think it's the only book of its kind out there.
It is. I've never heard of one like that.
There are books, How to Survive Your Thesis and things like that. But this is the first mainstream book on that topic.
It is. And therapists have special questions, don't they, about writing a book?
They do.
What's the one you hear the most often?
Well, the one I hear most often that therapists are most worried about is, how do I write about my patients, or how do I write about my cases without getting sued, without breaking the very important code of ethics if you're a licensed mental health professional, which is confidentiality.
Exactly. That's what I hear too.
Yeah. So I have a whole chapter in the book on how the art of disguise, how to disguise your patients, it's not enough just to change a name,
right,
or a birthplace.
Right.
You have to change everything.
You can change gender, you can change description,
how many kids they have, age,
right,
who they're married to,
geographic location.
But if you say this woman is the wife of this important CEO of a very well-known company, anybody can figure that out. So you have to change everything.
So that is really an art, isn't it, for therapists?
It is definitely an art.
And I know they're the most worried about that. I run into that all the time.
Yeah. And if you absolutely can't change, if the story you're telling is so unique that person would recognize themselves, or people they know would recognize themselves, you can get a release. And I wrote 2 books that were published traditionally, and one was based on 21 interviews with women who had more than 10 years of sobriety, and the other was based on 18 interviews with men in their first year of sobriety. And I got releases for every one of them so I could tell their story. But if you don't get a release, then you have to disguise them. Right.
And that's really valuable information for therapists, because that stops a lot of them from even writing, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
I've had people tell me that. Oh, I didn't know I could do that.
Right, exactly.